You gave up a TV job to start a podcast in your basement. If that doesn't scream midlife crisis, I don't know what does.
It was Championship Sunday here in Indianapolis. What's the mindset then coming in as a defending champion?
I want to win. No, I want to win.
The young lady over my shoulder, Caitlin Clark.
Not the best looking guy. And I don't think anyone's going to sit here and say, Matt Randazzo was really good looking.
What has this last month, 2 months, 3 months been like for you? It's an important fan base for the Fighting Illini, isn't it?
It is.
He turned 69 years young last week. He looked good, Coach.
Oh, try it. Thank you.
Welcome to Off the Air with Matt Randazzo here on a Friday in the Quad Cities. We've taken the show on the road once again. We started at Pleasant Valley. We've made our way to Geneseo as well last week. Where were we last week? I can't even remember. We had so much fun. Over at Assumption. And then, of course, we're here at Rockridge High School today. Huge matchup between Newman and Rockridge. State-ranked teams, top 3 in the state, both teams. We're going to dissect all that coming up in a second. But if I'm coming to Rockridge, I'm going to call Mr. Rockridge, the man himself, Glenn Cook. So we're going to start our show off the only way we can here at Rockridge. Hi, young man. How are you?
Good. My eyes have failed me, but or they're failing me, but I'm still able to drive, and that is hard. I gave up announcing doing the PA a year ago.
Is it 50 years doing it?
Because of it. 51.
51
years, yeah. And believe me, I got a lot more out of it than anybody that had to put up with me. So yeah.
Well, you look good. I think people are probably worried that you can't see, but you're driving. But you're rocking and rolling still, though.
Oh yeah. I can. As long as the cars stay out of my way, I'm good.
It's you guys. It's on you guys to get out of Glenn's way. And being out here, and I know you love it out here. You get out here when you can.
Yeah. This is home.
You look out. I mean, Glenn, we're at the end of September, week 5 of the high school football season. Gorgeous weather, and on that field later tonight, it's 2 of the best teams in the entire state. This is high school.
Perfect.
This is what high school sports is all about, isn't it?
Absolutely, yes. This is what it's about. I used to paint this field, and it was a lot of work, but I loved it. And people, somebody said, well, at least the lines are straight now because they've got a robot that does it. But Coach Graves is doing such a great job with the program here. I mean, just like the program up at Newman, you know. They've got. It's going to be a great night. It's going to be a great night. I hope the stands are full. They should be full. And be a great night for high school football.
We were just talking to the athletic director here, and you mentioned Coach Graves is doing a great job. They have been for a long time out here at Rockridge, and this year's team, you know, they have some of the signature victories of this season already to go to Princeton and win the way they did. What do you like about this Rockridge team? And it starts with that junior quarterback, which is crazy to say junior quarterback because he's one of those
guys
guys
been here forever
I would
already.
put him in my dime club because I always said, like, there's certain athletes and some of you, I mean, Tyson Blaze that you had, Ethan Happel. If I had a dime for every time I said their name on TV, like I could have retired a long time ago.
Yeah.
And he's one of those guys already that you talk a ton about, a special kid. What is it about this team that you like right now?
Well, obviously it starts with Cullen Schweigen. He's just a great athlete. But the Steele boys are both they're great players and great additions to the team. The McKeag boy in the line, Ryan Lower, the Wheatley. You know, I can't think of the Wheatley boy's name.
Chase, but I'm going to get it wrong. Is it Chase?
Yeah.
Chase is the younger one, and Landon just graduated.
Yeah, Landon.
I can't get my own kids' names correct. Don't be asking me for other kids' names, but I think it's Chase.
But so they've got the skill positions on this team really good. We're a little small in the line, but I don't think Newman's real big either. But both, I just think it's a perfect matchup. They're small and fast, and we're small and fast. Yeah. So it should be an awesome game. I can't be here tonight. I'm sorry to say.
Which is good news because you won't jinx it.
Right. My granddaughter up in Winthrop Harbor has problems, and we're going to go up there
Okay.
and see how she's doing. So,
Beautiful.
yeah.
No, that's way more important than football, and I'm sure you'll be glued
Oh,
to
yeah.
WRMJ
Yeah.
and listen to it. Here's what you got to do. You got to get on, and we'll talk about it too throughout the show. View from the West is doing an instant reacts podcast every night on Fridays at 10:15. They allow me to be on it, but Greg Armstrong, Mitch Stormer, they have coaches on. Coach Graves have been on it, so that's where you got to
Awesome.
go at the end to check things out because it's been a
Great.
ton of fun.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, well, I'm going to tell, I'm just learning about this stuff as we go, Glenn. If you would have
Okay.
told me a year ago that I had this going on, I would have told you that's crazy. But yeah, it's beautiful because that's kind of where a lot of things are going. We talked about this field. You used to do the lines on this field and all those kind of things. Just take me through some memories because when you come out here, they got to flood in with. I mean, you went to school here, you coached
We were the
here.
first class here, yeah. Coached baseball here for a long time. Yeah, well, it's been my adult life, and the other morning, Ethan Happ sent me a text, wanted to go to lunch
I
with
know
me.
that, and I didn't even get an invite. Like I saw that on Facebook. I'm like, well, I could've
I'm
come.
sorry, pal.
It's okay. That's
but
right.
I got to meet Ethan first time I'd seen him for a long time, and then his fiance, who
that's
is
awesome.
gorgeous and prettier.
So she must
is
be
just
blinder
a-
than you.
Oh, she is. She's a sweetheart, and he's done real well down there.
Absolutely.
He's over in Spain.
Yeah.
I mean, he is living an unbelievable life, doing very well in basketball. Anyway, how I got to Ethan, I don't. Anyway, but I think about Ethan. You talking about memories here. Ethan Happ, Tyson Blazer, my Lord, the best all-around athlete. I'm sorry, the best. I'm not sorry at all. There's no dispute. He's the best all-around athlete we've ever had. He dominated baseball, basketball, and football. Brian Heath, the great game show. There was a game here in 1994, the year they won state in football. That's, I think, the best high school game I ever saw. They beat Byron here in the last second, and it was just a great game. But yeah, so many memories here, just wonderful memories. And I haven't, until this year, I hadn't missed a game here. Been up there in the press box for 51 years.
Have they renamed that press box yet? What are they waiting for?
I don't know.
I'll make a
No,
few
no,
phone
no,
calls.
no, no,
Daphne and everyone that's listening to this,
Yeah,
let's make sure.
no.
We can even do it on my show. We can do a live special show. You mentioned those kind of guys. I always joke with Tyson when I see him that I wish I loved anything half as much as you love Tyson Blazer.
Yeah.
Like I wish I loved anything, but it's well warranted and all those kind of things. So Glenn, we're here. It's a beautiful day. You hear the band warming up.
Yeah.
I love it because you'll see, and
Oh.
they've already done it. There's been some people come and put their chairs up already.
Oh, sure.
Kind of talk about this community because
Oh, yeah.
that's what it's about, is like people coming out here and putting stuff up early and the band going. I mean, it's what small school, high school football is all about, isn't it?
Yeah, Rockridge, I've always said this, Rockridge is a unique school. It's not like Sherrard or Aledo or Orion. Rockridge is made up of several communities. And so you come out here and you'll see Buffalo Prairie sitting there, you'll see Taylor Ridge sitting there, and you'll see Edgington over here. You really do. And
Where's Illinois City?
Illinois City will be in here too.
Somewhere else,
Yeah. Buffalo Prairie, we always call that Bison Flats, but that's supposed to be funny.
No, I get you.
So don't be afraid to laugh if you think I'm trying to be funny. No, but yeah.
He's the best.
It's a big school district. It's spread out. But the I think our enrollment's around 350, something like that. When my son went here, it was over 700, or right at 700. And but anyway, yeah, the memories here are unbelievable. I was a baseball coach here. I've got a lot of great memories from there. The kids I got to
And
be
success. You can say success too because you have a lot of wins as well, and success and plaques.
Yeah, I was 62 before when we won our first game, when we won 237 games. So
That's fantastic.
yeah, so I'm proud of that. But
237 exactly. Not that he knew that number off the top of his head.
no,
or
I
anything.
knew that number.
I got to talk to you about the Cubs here in a second too, because there's going to be playoff baseball soon. But I want some more on some football too. You look at this conference and there's such great rivalries when it comes to like Orion and Sherrard. You hate all of them. No, and I'm kidding.
No,
but
I don't.
Aledo down the way and Mercer County is back in the conference and
Yeah,
those kind
isn't
of
that
things.
a great thing?
But you look at this rivalry game too. Like we did like a fun little thing over the summer. A bunch of us kind of voted best high school football rivalries kind of in our area on this side. And like Newman and Rockridge were right there. I know it's not the oldest one.
No.
But these games are huge every single year, and I think that's kind of what's made it special. Two really good programs.
Rockridge has had, at different times, there was a time when Aledo was our biggest rival. I mean, the two schools did not like each other.
Yeah.
and both schools were good. There was a time when before Monmouth Roseville.
Well, heck, Aledo and Rockridge played for a state championship. I mean, that's
Yes.
how good they were.
Right.
So go ahead.
That's a Rockridge beat Aledo that year 40-0 and then lost to them in the state championship.
No, I know
Anyway, Monmouth High School was a big rival for several years, and of course, and Orion has been a big rival here. But like you say, Newman is the rival. I think the rival today. Over all the years, it's been Sherrard. Sherrard's our year in and year out. In every sport, Sherrard is our biggest rival.
Yeah.
I mean, people went to Sherrard and moved to Rockridge, so their kids go to Rockridge. It's a bunch of inbreds playing each other.
I love it.
Yeah, so.
I want to ask you, and this is not, I mean, and we're not poking fun at any of the schools, and schools go through it and all these kind of things, but when it comes to like today's day and age, you look at Alleman's back playing varsity football, but they took 2 years away, and think about that, and the tradition at Alleman and all of that, and Riverdale was off for a year, and now they're back to being, so they go in ebbs and flows. And Sherrard, the numbers are down. They had to forfeit a game this year, and you mentioned 350 students here. I know the numbers are good, some good high talent, but what's different now? Like, what's different because kids, the numbers a lot of places. I think it comes down to football's hard. Football. And there's a thing I call specialization of sports, where if somebody gets good at one sport, they kind of focus on that sport. And you mentioned Tyson Blazer, like the 3-sport athletes.
I have an award named after me here. If you play 3 sports for all 4 years, you get this award.
The Glenn Cook Award.
Yeah.
But it's so rare nowadays.
Oh, they didn't have any last year.
Yeah. So kind of big picture it for me, and we're not, I mean, Sherrard is down in numbers right now, but you can go all over the area, and Alleman's just back, and that's a traditional powerhouse.
Isn't it strange?
Yeah.
This is my opinion, okay? Football is a violent game, and you can get hurt playing football. You can get hurt playing any sport, but football warrants that. There are violent collisions on every play.
Yeah.
So I think that's part of it. It's hard work to play football. You've got to get in shape. If you don't get in shape, you could get hurt.
Yeah.
So you've got to be in shape to play football. Numbers are for football. I think there's only 4 states in the United States that aren't down in number. All over this.
Probably Texas, California, Florida, and
Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Those are the states, and the rest of them are down in numbers. Kids. Excuse me. That's why kids. There's a lot of 8-man teams. There's a lot of 8-man football being played now, and you say the numbers here are good. I don't know how good they are compared to maybe other schools. They are, but I'm gonna guess somewhere around 40. I'm guessing.
Well, I'm gonna, and Sam Graves can yell at me later. I thought 42, 44, somewhere around there is what somebody told me. But yeah, you're right. I mean, and I think the beauty part of what Rockridge has right now is they have high level talent, which helps a ton.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, you look at, and somebody told me Sherrard, and if I'm wrong, I apologize, but around 34 kids, and their enrollment's at 450.
Yeah.
So hey, I'm sitting here with 4 kids, and I only got 2 playing football right now.
Yeah.
So like, it's not like, I mean, it's a different beast.
I'll say this out loud. I hate soccer. I hate it. There's nothing about soccer that I like, but soccer has made huge inroads into all sports.
Yeah.
Baseball, football, you name it.
Well, I mean, Glenn, and and it's different now, but like, baseball's all year round. Like, my son is playing fall ball, and like and I've had kids tell me that they're missing some high school stuff to play like travel stuff, and which is crazy to me, because again, my whole thought process is, you do it, the ultimate goal is to play high school. Like, the ultimate goal should be for everybody to play high school sports at some level. And then, there's we talked about Ethan Haps and Brian Heats and other people. I mean, that's just this year, Caleb Kunico, and people are going playing college basketball too. There's that as well, but the ultimate goal should be high school sports, and it sometimes gets lost in the mix, I think.
I couldn't agree more, and I'm just shooting from the hip here, so
all emails go to Glenn Cook if anybody's upset.
Yeah. I'm just thinking that sometimes they're being so, if a coach is telling them, you need to be here in the off season, you need to be here to play basketball tonight, you need to be here to play football, and it's in the middle of June or July, and you can't play baseball in the middle of June or July, there's something wrong with that. Yeah. I really believe, I'm sorry.
And vice versa, Glenn, I had, and anybody who's listening to this, I'm not, if you figure it out, bless you, but I had, and this was years ago, I had a youngster I was coaching youth basketball, and they came in, they said, hey, we got to leave a half hour early tonight. I'm like, why is that? And he goes, we got hitting lessons. And I said,
I know.
It's January. Like, do you, like, in June, do I come to the baseball field and be like, hey, we got to go get shots up, so, like, stop. So anyways, that's a little rant for another day and all those kind of things as well. You mentioned the community here, and I'll give me some, and you already mentioned Tyson and Ethan. Are there those, and we haven't mentioned Liz Watkins and some of those, and we're going to miss a bunch of them, but, and I know this last senior group was special to you too, last year's when Landon Bull and Caleb Kuniko and Wheatley and all of them.
I love those boys. We went to breakfast too. I just love
and kind of talk about that, because and that's what I always say with people when I ask me, like, about what I got to do for 25 years and continuing to do with this show is, it's the relationships and the people you get to meet. And I'll tell anybody to this day, like, when wondering, like, what's wrong with youth today, there's nothing wrong with the youth today. They're all good. There's so many good kids still, and that's what you take out of it. You have awards, you have records, 237 wins, all that kind of stuff. It's meeting kids and having breakfast. That's what's the special part, isn't it?
I used to, kids are, I love kids. I used to have a saying here, they give me heck for it. I love young boys, and it's true. Yeah. I love teenage boys. They'll push you to the limit.
They'll drive you crazy.
Yeah, but I absolutely love them, and there was nothing that made my day more than to walk down the hallway up here and have some teenage boy say, "How you doing, Coach?" That my head got this big around. Yeah. There's nothing, I was a baseball pitcher when I was in my youth.
Good one.
Yeah, I was good.
Yeah.
That's the only thing in sports I was good at, but I was good at throwing a baseball. And I had teams scouting me. The Cardinals were they had contacted me, and so would Cincinnati. It was altogether a different world then. But I wouldn't listen to anybody, so I tore my rotator cuff, and in those days that was it. So there went that went away. So I was going to play Major League Baseball. That was what I was going to do. I mean, that, as stupid as that sounds, that's what I wanted to do. Yeah. Okay. My daughter told me one time, she said, "Dad, the good Lord had a plan for you." And she said playing Major League Baseball wasn't it. Coaching boys and being around kids. She said, "Look at what you would have missed." And that is so true. I would have missed Tyson Blazer, Ethan Happ, Travis Parker, you name it, Mike Bennett, you name the kids, I would have missed them. And I loved those times, and I love every second that I was involved with Rockridge High School.
No, and you know what, Rockridge High School loves you. It's great. I come out here still to this day, and this is Glenn Cook country, and that's a beautiful thing. We have to talk Cubs, because and later in the show we recorded a segment with the View from the West guys. We'll have that coming up in a little bit, kind of previewing all of the high school football in the area. But Greg is a White Sox fan. I kind of gave him a hard time. I explained what postseason baseball was, and the Cubs are back doing it for the first time in 5 years.
Well, people in the stands.
I don't know if me and as a Cub fan, I'm just along for the ride, and what happens. I don't have many great expectations. Where are you at with this team right now? And of course, the Horton gets hurt the other night, and you're already down Steele. So I mean, the pitching.
Imanaga's really struggling. They made a good. I love Boog Shambi, by the way. A lot of people don't like. I love him, and I love JD.
Yeah,
I do, and Taylor McGregor. Those three. I think they're the perfect combination. But they were talking last night about Imanaga. He's not wild away from the plate. He's wild in the plate. He's throwing too many breaking pitches right in the middle of the plate.
Yeah, when you're missing in the strike zone, that's bad.
And that's where he's being wild. And now that sounds crazy, but he's throwing strikes, but he's wild throwing those strikes. Mm-hmm. So, so I don't know about their pitching. And Boyd struggled the last half too. Tyon, I like their pitchers, but I just don't. They're not going. Pitching is what carries you, and I'm worried about that. And their hitting is really now. Last night, Suzuki hit 2 home runs. Did you know that?
Which is needed. I mean, because what do you have? 25 at the break, and he was at like 27. Like, I'm no mathematician, but like that's
2 in the second half.
Yeah, he's been struggling. Night. So what does it look like? That's what I'll ask you. What does it look like if they're to have success in the postseason? Is it pitchers getting hot? Does that offense have to roll like it did in the first half? What does it look like?
Yeah. The offense obviously has to hit, but you and I both know what stops, what has to show up. Pitching. pitching
in
stops.
October especially.
Pitching stops good hitting every time. And if the pitchers don't, and I'm really concerned about their pitching. Their defense is off the charts. Hap in left. Hap made a catch last night. Did you see the game?
Oh, yeah.
That was one of the greatest catches I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I mean, he was parallel to the ground. And then PCA made an unbelievable catch in center.
Yeah.
He's got a hit, though, but he can, I mean, up the middle with Swanson and Horner, holy moly. And their catchers are great. That's a good, solid defensive team.
I want to talk to you. I'm going to move this back up on you. But I
Sorry.
want to talk to you. No, you're fine. I want to talk to you about baseball, because here we are. And this weekend, I got my boys are really excited about postseason baseball, which is great. But you look at it, in college football, it's one of the best weekends of college football you can come up with. The NFL is the NFL. Ryder Cup is off and running right now, and that's fascinating as well. I know you're a baseball guy. Are they doing enough to compete with these other sports? And if not, what would you do?
I don't know. I think they've gone overboard on some of the things they've done.
Trying to appeal more.
Yeah, and they're trying to attract the casual fan. That's why home runs have become so important. But to the hardcore baseball, what's that?
What's his name for Seattle? Hit 60. He hit his 60th last night. I mean, that's how the ball's flying out of the park.
Judge or Schwarber or
it's
Otani.
the catcher over in the for the Mariners. Why can't I think of his name?
Raleigh.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, hey, yeah. So the game itself, the game of baseball, if you either get it or you don't get it. Baseball is not, they talk about the Cubs, the fans up there, they go crazy and this and that. Yeah, they do, because it is a party atmosphere at Wrigley Field. But you can't tell me that the Cubs hate that. That park is filled every day. That park is filled. You go over to Pittsburgh and it's not that way.
Go down to St. Louis and it's not that way.
No, St. Louis is
Just
not
saying,
that
Cardinal
way.
Fans.
Yeah, but so baseball, the game itself. Unfortunately, the game itself will not attract. It's just built. It's a slower paced game.
Yeah.
It's not built for excitement. It's built to sit there and go to the stand, get a hot dog, and come back, and you haven't missed anything. Football and basketball is not that way. But you're on the edge of your seat the whole time. Baseball's not that way. Baseball, but having. By the way, isn't that Coach Smith? I can't see. If it is,
I think so.
What a great. Look at him out there. He's painting the field.
Isn't it
What a
great?
great guy. Anyway, and Jeff, I want to say this before I get off the subject. Jeff Henry belongs in the Illinois Coaches Hall of Fame.
There it is.
Okay.
If Glenn Cook says it, so it be written, so it be done, right?
Well,
Let's make it happen.
yeah. Anyway,
Just like the
we
press
got a
box
couple
being
three
named
coaches.
after Glenn Cook.
Yeah. No. But anyway, yeah. What was I?
No, baseball wise,
running off?
I get what you're.
Oh yeah. I mean, I get. We've got a huge 47 or 52-inch screen TV, flat screen. I love it. And I love to sit right in front of it, like I'm in the park. That's what I like to do. And because I'm just running off the head here. But there isn't anything about baseball I don't like. I love the sound of the bat hitting the ball. Everything. I like the smell of a ball. I absolutely love baseball. I'm sorry, I've got my nose is
and you're
running.
right. It's one of those things too where I think it's to a point where I love the 62. You're not going to watch it like football. You're not going to sit there like football. We're Lions fans. Football Lions games is appointment television where all 5 of us are downstairs watching football. You can't do that for baseball. But that's the thing is you can mow the grass and listen to it on the radio. You can go inside and wash dishes and watch it on TV. I mean, it's that game that you can do other things and just check in on the baseball game, make sure it's going over well.
If football was a game that you could play every day, would the stands be full like they are?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
No, not at all.
No, that you can't.
Yeah,
you
you're
can't
comparing
sustain
162 to like 17. I mean, the difference in mass numbers is
baseball. Baseball, like if I had tickets to the Cubs today, say, and for some reason I couldn't go, okay, there's tomorrow. I'll go tomorrow.
Yeah.
If they lose today and look bad, and they looked bad last night, they got a game tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's you don't have to wait a week to play. It's the next day, and I love watching Dansby Swanson play shortstop. I love Nico Horner at second. I eat that up with a spoon.
Yeah.
How they make the plays that they make. Baseball is a hard game to play.
Yeah.
You don't have to be a great athlete, but I think it's the hardest sport there is to play. You don't have to be. It isn't like basketball. You have to be a great athlete to play basketball, but you got to be 7 foot tall to play it anymore. So, anyway.
Now, before I let you go, give me a final prediction on 2 things. We'll go Cubs first. How far do they make it? What do you expect? And then I'll ask you about the beloved Rockets in a second. But let's go Cubs first. Your 2 loves, Cubs and Rockets. And of
Cubs,
course, your lovely wife. I can put her in the mix too.
Oh, yeah,
when it comes
she's
to
the best.
Loves of your life. But.
She is the best. Anyway, the Cubs, they're going to San Diego's. I guess I'm pessimistic. I think they'll have trouble getting through the first round. But then, too, if everything clicks, who knows how far they could go.
That's the thing is, there's been, what was it, the Cardinals one year when they barely got in and they won the dang thing.
2005. Yeah.
Darn it.
Okay. Or wasn't it 2005?
I think,
okay, the Rockets, we're going to win tonight.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, the reason why is probably be over your shoulder because we got some of the players coming up next, including Cullen Schweigen, who's a pretty good quarterback as well. So, Glenn, I can't thank you enough for doing this.
Matt, I'm so proud of you. I am so proud of you and what you do, and it's an honor to be asked to do this.
I love it. We'll have Glenn on as many times as he wants to be on. We got a lot more to get to here on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. Coming up next, we mentioned some Rocket players are here. We're going to chat with him about tonight's big game. Also later in the show, the boys from View from the West will be here with us as well. We'll preview everything on the Illinois side of the river. We'll also look at the Iowa side, and then late in the show, we'll do some picks. We got a lot more to get to. You're watching Off the Air with Matt Randazzo live from Rockridge High School on a Friday right here in the Quad Cities. All right, be honest. Are you craving Hungry Hobo again? You know, that fresh sliced meat piled high on those amazing sandwiches, hot off the grill chicken and steak with all those delicious toppings, the biggest and best selection of baked potatoes, or simply some waffle fries dipped in cheese. Well, now that Quad City favorite is even easier to get. Download the Hungry Hobo app today. Order ahead, skip the line, and earn rewards all at the same time. There's Double Points Monday and exclusive specials as well. With 12 locations in the Quad City area, it's Hungry Hobo. Now even easier to find, but still hard to resist.
Rafferty Funeral Home, dedicated to serving families in the Quad Cities since 2007.
Hi, welcome. Here, come on in.
An experienced staff plans each service to reflect the unique life and legacy of your loved one. Rafferty Funeral Home is proud to serve our community with dignity, respect, and compassion, helping you to celebrate your traditions and lasting memories no matter your faith, culture, or budget. Rafferty Funeral Home in Moline. Call today to discuss prearrangements.
When it comes to quality, convenient pizza, Godfather's Pizza in Silvis has you covered. Featuring a beautiful dine-in area, delivery, and a carry-out window. Godfather's Pizza is that pizza you grew up with, not a convenience store. You see, at Godfather's Pizza, the dough is made fresh daily. That mozzarella cheese is shredded fresh and never frozen. And those toppings are abundantly piled high each and every time. Locally owned and operated since 2010, Godfather's is a huge supporter of local athletes right here in the Quad Cities. So come on by and check them out at 1211 Avenue of the Cities in Silvis. Order online at godfathers.com and reunite with that same delicious pizza you grew up with. Welcome back to Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. No better way to start a segment than me bending over with my bald spot so everybody can see what's going on. We're joined by some, first off, we're live here at Rockridge High School. Getting ready for a huge showdown between the Rockets and Newman, two top 3 ranked teams in the state, one in 2A, one in 1A. It should be a great game tonight. Cullen Schweigen, quarterback, who feels like you should be like a 5th-year senior these days, but you're only a junior. And tell me who you got with you.
We got Thomas Sowers and Chase Wheatley.
Have you step up to the microphone.
Thomas is our running back, and Chase is our slot.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys, first off, for coming out of school and doing this. I know you're heartbroken that you can't stay in school a little longer. They came up, they said, keep us as long as you can, and so we'll keep you a lot. A huge game, and you hear it, and we're out here, and you hear the band. They got parents setting up chairs already. They're spraying the field behind us. What is game day like here at Rockridge? And it's got to be a lot of fun for you guys.
Yeah, everyone's involved with it. All of our teachers and everything. Like we got Miss D out here. She's setting up stuff for the student section. And we have Mr. Smith out here doing everything with the field, spraying it up. And everything's great.
This season, I want to talk to you about this season because it's been a fantastic start. 4-0. What is about this team that's clicking right now? What do you guys like about what's going on?
I really think that we're a brotherhood. I think we're super close to each other, which is good, and we have leaders. And our leaders are doing a good job with that, and I think we're playing well.
This offense is fun, and it's something that's been fun for 2.5 years now for you. What is it about being out there? I remember talking to Coach Graves before the season. He gets mad at himself for your freshman year because he feels like he kept the training wheels on too long. What is it about this offense, and how comfortable do you feel in this offense, running things, doing what you guys need to do on the football field?
Yeah, there's definitely a difference from freshman year to now, and stuff is just easier. Like, everything just goes with the flow. I don't really mess with anything. Don't have to worry about anything. It's just there.
I know one of the questions coming into this season was the offensive line, and if you could replace a Landon Bull and Jude Finch and those kind of guys, and you've had guys step up. Kind of talk about that, because you can only do so much. If you're on your back, you can't do anything. Talk about those big uglies up front and how important they've been.
Yeah, it's super important with everything. That's our run game. That's our pass game too. If we don't have them, we don't have anything. So,
tonight's game. Obviously, Newman's a really good football team. What do you know about them? What do you expect from them? And this has become a rivalry. I know it's not like the old school Alito Rockridge and Sherrard Rockridge, but this has become one of the biggest games each and every year.
I would say yes, definitely a rivalry now. But we know that they're going to be quick and they're going to be physical. We just got to become ready to play. Stay with our keys.
When you look on film and you look, I joke with you being around forever, but Evan Bushman's another kid that is in his 18th year, I think, at Newman. Obviously, he's played a lot of football. Talk about that. I know it's not a matchup because you don't go up against him, but two really good quarterbacks that have a lot of experience in this game. That makes life a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's always good to go against another really good quarterback. It helps, it makes you more competitive, makes him more competitive, and makes the game better, I think.
Take me through some of these wide receivers of yours, because you get a lot of love and you deserve it, but the Steele brothers and Wheatley and all those guys, what makes this offense passing wise click so well?
I think it's started before high school, really. We were playing JFL together, playing flag together, and like we're always at each other's houses, we're messing around. And I feel like that helps with connections and knowing like who's your wide receiver and like speed and whatnot and who can catch it.
No, absolutely. You mentioned just the balance of it too, and running the football, and you got one of your guys right there next year that runs the football well. Kind of talk about being balanced, because you can't just go out there and sling it every time, and you can run a little bit, and the running game's been good this year as well.
Right. Yeah, I would say, it's the same thing with wide receivers. Like, we're all super close, so we know what we have to do to get the good holes and get the good yards. Yeah.
How much do you guys listen to everything this week? And can you? I mean, you got, and I love them, the View from the West podcast is outstanding, and I'm out here doing this stuff, and you're gonna have a bunch of TV stations out here tonight and all that kind of stuff. How much do you listen to that kind of stuff, and how much can you have to balance it between what's going on in the field as well?
I really try to just block that stuff out. I don't really let that
listen to my show at least.
I would, but I don't know. I just don't let that stuff get to me. Right, afterwards. I don't let that stuff get to me. I kind of just go through the day like a normal day and just go on.
I want to ask you some fun questions. I'll get some of your teammates in here, but when it comes to game day, what's game night like for you? Are you superstitious? Do you have weird things you do as game day? People say rituals, I say superstitions. Are you that kind of guy, or you just take me through your game day routine? Is there anything weird?
No.
You're not like wearing like SpongeBob underwear or something like that, or anything goofy?
I used to wear underwear I used to wear American flag underwear from my freshman year to sophomore year, and this year I did on my first game. So
and
against
you won.
Sherrard, and we won, and we played good. So it's like
you're free.
I'm really not a superstition man anymore, so I'm kind of switching it up now, kind of going with the flow.
What's the game prep like, food-wise, like meal-wise? Are you eat before? I don't want any part of that, I'll eat afterwards?
I usually eat a half of peanut butter and jelly before the game.
Just a half?
Just a half.
That's superstitious. That's superstitious. If you only eat in a half, that's actually superstition.
Yeah.
After the game, you guys get a big victory. I mean, I live out here and I'm not bashing out here, but it's not like you have a plethora of food to get into going to town. Like what's food afterwards? Isn't it party? You're not over there. I don't want to say party, but get together. Where was Coach at the other day?
That's the coach's. That's at Wheatley's house.
Okay, yeah. But you're not allowed there?
No, we're not allowed.
Okay, that makes sense. That probably makes a lot of sense. Where's the post game food and all that kind of stuff? Or what do you like to eat?
After game, it's always go to Thomas's. We hop in his truck and we'll probably go to B-Dubs or something.
Okay.
Something like that.
All right.
And, there's usually other teams there. Sherrod's always there sometimes where it's kind of nice.
At B-Dubs, are you tough guy? Are you a Blazing Wings guy? Are you anything? Don't tell me don't tell me bear or anything. If you get a burger, we're finishing the segment right here.
I do not get a burger.
Okay, well, you can stay. What's the flavor?
I would say I'm kind of soft. I'm not a big spice guy. So
Okay.
I'm a honey barbecue boneless 15-piece or
Boneless?
12. Yeah, boneless.
That's a nugget.
I know.
Like, get a wing. A wing's a wing. Put the bone in there. You're just getting adult. All you're getting is an adult nugget. Is all that
Right.
is. Is all that is. So I'm gonna flip out. Who wants to hop in next? Awesome. Thank you for doing this. We appreciate it. Well, first off, I guess I'll ask you that guy. How fun is it playing with that guy, behind that guy, all that kind of stuff?
No,
I'll bring it down. I'm a short guy too. These tall
it's
quarterbacks are annoying.
It's really awesome. We've always played together since we were like 5 and 6 years old, and then finally being out on the big high school field and playing in front of all these people, and it's a good time.
I don't want to say there were doubters this year, but you had some people to replace them last year.
Mm-hmm.
Take me through that process. And did you guys hear the rumblings of, they're good, but good, but they got to do that? Did you guys kind of hear that going into the season?
Yeah, just kind of we lost those bigger guys that were step ups last year, but now we have leaders this year that are able to step up and have stepped up and are good leaders for our team.
What's it like out there when that quarterback's slinging it, you're running it, when you guys are doing what you guys know you can do? How much fun is it? I equate it to basketball where the hoop looks this big or whatever. I've never had that, but I've heard that happens. What's it like out there when you guys are clicking on all cylinders?
It's really great. It's like we get on offense and there's times where it's a touchdown pass or a big run first play, and it gets everybody hyped up, and all the fans are real loud, and then it's a great atmosphere too. And
talk to me about this community, because I'm out here in it. I live close. I can't say enough about the coaches and all that kind of stuff. You see moms and dads bringing chairs already and all that kind of stuff. You hear the band playing. I don't know if you guys can hear the band playing. I hope you can hear the band playing, but that's awesome. What's this community like and game day like here in the Rockridge community?
We've always had a great community for our football team and for all sports here. And we had teachers greeting us at the door, teachers and board members coming in and giving us high fives before we walked into school this morning, and having our field painted this nice, and the atmosphere in general is just great.
All right, some goofy questions for you. If you could have dinner with one person in this entire world, who would it be and why? Anybody.
Oh boy.
Not me. You can't say me.
I'd probably go with Donald Trump.
Now, okay.
Yeah.
Why is that?
It'd be pretty cool to have a meal with the president.
There you go. I like that. That's a good answer. Superstitions. Do you have those superstitions?
No, not really. I mean, I'm more of I don't really get super hyped before a game. I'm more of a chill out kind of guy. I kind of do my own thing and I just come ready to play, but nothing really crazy.
All right. Are you one of those guys that hop in the truck? You're driving the truck.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're going to B-Dubs. Are you a Nuggets with barbecue sauce?
I get boneless and honey barbecue.
Jeez. What happened to all the tough guys out here?
I don't know.
I bet you Ethan Happ used to do Blazing Wings every day.
Probably.
Caleb Kuniko and Landon Bull are probably doing Asian Zing and everything else. You guys got to step up your game a little bit when it comes to that kind of stuff. Well, best of luck tonight as well. Let's get a Wheatley in here. I got it right. Glenn Cook was on here and he said the Wheatley and he couldn't remember. And this is Chase. Dad's Josh. I got to get it all figured out and everything. Thanks for doing this. What class am I getting you out of?
I'm in intro to business right now and I'm going into art.
Okay,
right,
so you want me to slow down?
You're
talk,
good.
Really?
Take as much as you want.
You got to watch your brother do so many great things here, and now to be out here and doing the things that maybe he got to do. What is this like, and how much fun has this season been for you?
Well, yeah, growing up with my brother and his buddies, I gotta watch them do it, and everything they've done, they've accomplished a lot here. And I grew up with these guys by my side. We're brothers basically. Grew up playing Rock Island flag football, and then we came out here, played flag football for Rockridge, and now we're here. We get to do it ourselves. It's awesome.
And you kind of talk about that because that's a thing here at Rockridge. I mean, people watch Tyson Blazer and then the next group and the next group and the next group, and there's always been those role models. Now you guys are that for the little kids in the stands. Do you think about that, and what does that mean to be that next generation of Rocket doing good things here out in Edgington?
Yeah, it's really cool. After every game Friday, we normally go get stuff to eat, and then Saturday we wake up and go ref flag football for kids.
Very
and
cool.
They all look up to us, talk about the game last night. It's really neat, and that's how it's been for years here.
That quarterback behind you asked your teammates. Will ask you, like, is he like cocky, conceited? Does he walk around? Does he make you call him like Mr. Schweigen or anything like that? Is pretty down to earth dude, isn't he?
He is the quietest. Like he won't talk.
Of course.
Yeah, he does not talk any smack, nothing. He's quiet on the field.
When it comes to him on the field, and now being a junior, you'd think younger, but he's had so much experience. When it is big games, when it is Princeton down 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, does he have that calming presence in the huddle? Kind of take me through what's that like?
So Princeton fourth quarter, we got in there and we were pretty defeated already. We're tired and we all look at each other and we're just like, we can do it. We're tough enough. So we toughened up and we did it.
I love it. Okay. Salvage this threesome, this trio. Please tell me that you're getting like something a little tougher when it comes to Buffalo Wild Wings.
I'm boneless barbecue, honey barbecue all day.
I'm talking to all of your fathers. I know 2 of them, so I'm talking. We're gonna have a long talk about this superstition wise. Anything goofy, superstitious?
So first 4 days of practice, we go Monday, Tuesday, really just Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I wear the same cleats. And then Friday I wear a different pair of cleats every time. And then I wear same stuff every Friday for school. Same outfit.
Do you have any game day superstitions when it comes to like pregame meals or anything like that? And Colin's telling me I'm not superstitious, but he has a half of a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Is there anything that I can inform you that you actually have superstitions to? What do you eat before the game?
Before games, I really don't eat. Maybe like a banana or orange. That's about it. But yeah, I really don't. I'm not superstitious.
I want to bring it back to tonight's game because it is a huge game. And I know you guys, it's a rivalry. It's becoming a bigger rivalry, but you have respect for what they do. Kind of talk about it. And they've gotten the best of you the last 2 years, and especially on the offensive side of the football. Is that something, I know you don't dwell on it, but that's got to motivate a little bit that you got to figure out that Newman defense somehow.
Yeah, no, it definitely they're really fast. They're tough. The last 2 years, we really just got out toughened up front. And last year, then we didn't play great, but I don't know. We needed to be tougher for sure.
What's the difference tonight, and what are the keys in order for you guys to come off that field with a victory?
Well, I think this year, we started off the year and we had a long talk, like first practice of the year. Coach wanted us to be disciplined and tougher. And I think it's shown. I mean, we came back against Princeton. We played pretty tough, and hopefully we can come out here and do it tonight.
I'm trying to think of my goofy questions that I ask people because I've kind of wasted them all on those 2 guys. But I guess I'll ask you if you could have dinner with one person. You do a bunch of sports. I was going to say, if you weren't playing football, but you do a bunch. If you could have dinner with one person, who would it be and why?
I don't know. I mean, football speaking, probably Josh Allen. I think that dude's great.
Okay.
He's awesome.
Are you guys Iowa fans, Illinois fans?
Illinois?
Depends. Iowa, Illinois?
Yeah, it depends. Like wrestling, I'd say Iowa.
Okay.
But like football,
Bears fans, yeah. Packers fans,
yeah,
Bears fans.
Yeah, sadly.
All right, well, we'll end things on that because I don't want to sit here and talk about 52-21 or anything like that for my Detroit Lions or anything like that. But hey, guys, I appreciate you guys getting out of school doing this. Best of luck tonight. It's going to be a fantastic football game. Have fun. I know it sounds cliche and goofy, but have fun because these are the best. You guys will be old like me someday talking about these nights and stuff like that. So enjoy it. Tell your dads I said hello, and good luck tonight.
Thank you.
All right, we got more to get to coming up after the break. We'll talk more about this game, the Western Big Six, the LLC, a bunch of great games on the Illinois side of the river, the Knuckleheads from the View from the West, and both of them this week. Both Mitch and Greg coming up next after the break. You're watching Off the Air with Matt Randazzo on a Friday live from Rockridge High School. We'll be right back. Are you looking to take your next party, tailgate, or golf outing to the next level? You need Mobile Party Experience. MPX features 3 top-of-the-line party trailers equipped with all the amenities you need to party like a rock star. Smart TVs, Yeti coolers, JBL sound systems, grills, bathrooms, and much more. Mobile Party Experience is an experience like no other. Check out my-mpx.com or call 563-514-1470 and book your Mobile Party Experience today.
Give me the keys.
Learning to drive can be stressful for both the student and, yes, the parent as well. Relax. There's an easy way to avoid the stress. Skiles Driving School in East Moline has been helping new drivers hit the road with confidence for over 20 years. Whether you're a teen earning your first license or an adult looking for behind-the-wheel training, we've got you covered. Their certified instructors are patient, experienced, and use modern vehicles equipped for safety and comfort. From classroom instruction to real-world driving, we make learning safe, affordable, and even fun. Call 309-278-0098 or visit skylesdriving.com. Skiles Driving School. Get in, buckle up, drive your future forward.
Welcome back to Off the Air with Matt Randazzo here on a Friday in the Quad Cities. We are live at Rockridge High School. Huge matchup tonight between Newman and Rockridge. Fun show so far. Glenn Cook, Mr. Rockridge, joining us. Just had a trio of players join us from Rockridge, including starting quarterback Colin Schweigen, one of the best quarterbacks in our area, one of the best quarterbacks in the state, just a junior as well. So it's been a bunch of fun. But when it comes to high school football, on the Illinois side of the river, I'm going to bring my microphone down to me. You got to love this live TV at its finest. But when it comes to high school football in our area, they don't do it any better than the boys from View from the West. Mitch and Greg have been doing a fantastic job with it. Don't forget about the Instant Reacts podcast coming your way tonight, 10:15 on YouTube. So if you're not subscribed to View from the West on YouTube, please do so ASAP. I'll be joining them tonight after I get done on the call with the Riverdale and Orion game. So, of course, yesterday we chatted with those guys from the View from the West and got their thoughts on week 5 of the high school football season, and it's one of the best weeks of the year. And we're joined now by the boys from View from the West, Mitch and Greg, or Greg and Mitch. The family's back together again.
Yeah, but now you're a tie guy all of a sudden, so I'm not sure how I feel about any of this.
10 seconds.
We're estranged now.
We got 10 seconds into the segment before you had to bring that up. I knew it was coming. I thought you'd let it breathe a little bit. Hey, tie, there's some shirts, guys. I'm a tie guy. I'm a Mitch guy. Well, we won't even get into this. I got to behave myself. But it's good to have, because what we had just Greg 2 weeks ago. Then we had just Mitch. And I bashed the person who wasn't here, and so now I can't bash either of you. We're back together, guys. Week 5 of the high school football season. I know it's cliche, so I can't believe it's gone so fast, which it has. But forget about all that kind of stuff. I was just talking to Mitch before Greg was late per usual, and this is great. Like, look at the rundown in these conferences and these games. I can't fathom there's a better week on paper. I guess we'll start with Mitch. On paper, this is really good.
Well, week 2 was really good. But now that we're in week 5 and there are more now that we're in conference games, now that there's a little bit more of a playoff picture starting to take shape, now that there's conference races starting to get a little bit tighter, yeah, this could go pound for pound as best week of the year so far. But week 2, that's going to hold a special place in my heart. But regardless, this week is going to be great. We could see some conference champions crowned.
What was week 2 that I'm forgetting? I mean, obviously that was Rockridge, Princeton.
You had Rockridge, Princeton. You had Lena Winslow, Stockton.
Okay, that's right.
Dixon, Byron.
There was a few out there that were really good. Yeah, Dixon Byron's another one.
Yeah, gotcha. Greg, we'll get into the conferences here soon, but like when you look at week 5, and Mitch is right, the games get bigger. Obviously, as the season goes along, and you're starting to figure things out. I think you two figure things out earlier than everybody else because you're nuts and you know everything about everything. But like I think the rest of us are kind of figuring out what's going on in a lot of these conferences, which make things really interesting.
Yeah. No, I think we're definitely still learning things about some teams. And what I'm excited for is, when you talk about some of these big matchups that we'll get into, is now we're taking that next step of we know that Princeton and Monmouth Roseville are good, right? They've pretty much established that. We know that Newman and Rockridge are good, but now they play each other. And now we're going to find out, I think, kind of long-term, when you start looking at playoffs and kind of where these teams sit, how good are they against other good teams? So I think we're going to learn a lot, in this week on the field with these, marquee matchups.
What I'm excited about, we'll get to the track second, but by the time this airs, you guys' picks will be published. So I can't finally get, because Ty, did you guys see Wednesday? Ty was being a little wishy-washy. Like he
wasn't about to reveal his picks. He knew better.
I think
we're in a tight race.
Yeah, he was worried about you guys knowing more than anything else. He knew him. He's got him probably in marker, but he's like, I can't give you guys a heads up on what's going on. So I want to start the Western Big Six because it seems like the last couple of weeks we've said like, hey, there's some big favorites, and like which underdog will kind of hop in there and be the spoiler. Last week it was Sterling and an amazing game that we talked about on the Instant Reacts podcast. But this week you go down the line and it's like, good game, good matchup, good matchup, good matchup. I mean, it's really good when it comes to competitiveness of games. But Mitch, it's Moline and Quincy that just jumps off the paper, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not so quick to say that this game is going to determine who wins the conference. There's a lot of football left. There's a lot of good matchups in the next 4 weeks after this. But I will not be surprised if we're on this show, whether it's previewing week 9 or even if it's post week 9, and we look back and say, yep, that's what this game was really. It was for all the marbles. Moline has been on such a great run, that's literally and figuratively, since their week 1 loss out of state. And now we've seen Quincy doing the same since their week 1 loss. You've seen Quincy looking more like the Quincy of old. Maybe not in terms of style, but you've seen Hunter Schuckman really settling into that quarterback position. You're seeing them play really, really well on defense. And on the Moline side, it's that offensive line and their great backs that have just continued to impress and racked up their wins.
Greg, when you look at this game, I mean, Quincy, what broke the record last week for the amount of Western Big Six wins in a row. That's been their conference for so long. They're at home. Moline makes that drive down there, but you can see Moline playing better and better every week. And that Sterling win even looks more impressive a couple weeks ago after what Sterling did at UT. Your thoughts on this game and maybe how it goes and who can Moline end this streak on the road down in Quincy?
Yeah, I think that, when you look at this matchup, I want to see – I've been impressed with Moline's offense, and I think that it's that wing tee. They're going to the ground, and they got multiple backs. They're pretty deep there. But Ponder's a very efficient quarterback, and he's got a really good weapon in Nolan Ducey at tight end. So I think that's kind of that extra wrinkle that, like, can that get you a couple first downs when, they're expecting run and they get that pass off? I think that they can move the ball downfield that way. They've had success doing that against Geneseo. Can they do it again against Quincy, who Mitch said has been playing really good football right now? And so it's a great matchup. I maybe lean a little bit towards Moline because I've been really impressed with what they've done. But admittedly, like, I haven't seen as much of Quincy, right? I've seen some highlights. I haven't seen him in person or like extended game film. So maybe that's me being biased, but I do really like what Moline has coming into this year. I liked him at the preseason. I like him now.
And Greg picked Moline to win the Western Big Six third season.
I did.
Mitch and I both had United Township. None of us had Quincy. Mitch, I'll go to you. How do you look at this game? How do you see this game? Is Quincy a favorite? Would it be a pick 'em on a neutral field? Do they get a little advantage being at home? Excuse me. How do you see this game?
For as much as credit I just gave Quincy that they have been playing well, their last 3 opponents have 1 win combined. Whereas you look at Moline, they probably have a little bit tougher of a schedule so far. They had that great win against Sycamore, that last second win. A great win against the Sterling team where they ran 400 yards on a Sterling defense that stopped UT for -5 yards in the second half last week. And then a win against a tough Geneseo team. So I think Moline has the stronger resume going into this game. Both teams certainly have momentum coming in at 3 wins in a row. Quincy's offense has looked really good. They're averaging 46 points or something in the last 3 weeks. So if that Quincy defense that's only allowed 6 points or 13 points, in the last 3 weeks, if they can get a couple of drives early in the game that stops that Moline run game from really getting going, and if you get Schuckman comfortable in the passing game, I think Quincy has a shot. If I had to pick this game, I think I'm going to give the edge to Moline. I've just been so impressed with the way that they played offensively. Their defense will have to shore up because I don't know that they've faced an attack like they'll get at Quincy. But I could foresee them going on the road and getting a big win here and taking the driver's seat in the Western Big Six.
I've had several people say to me that Moline's running backs are even better than people think they are. If that makes any sense, they're really, really good. And I don't think, and you look at them and running the football and what they do, and they don't ask Ponder to do a ton right now. And like Greg mentioned, maybe it's a Ducey reception, something like that makes the difference. But I'll go Moline with you guys as well. Mainly because more Moline people watch this show than Quincy people.
So that means Quincy's going to win.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Other games in the conference, I'm fascinated with where UT goes from here, because it's not like I tell my kids in life, and this is probably getting too deep, but like it's not the bad things that happen to you, it's how you respond to the things that happen to you that are bad. And so that's the same way in football. And it's not what happened last week. You flush it, but it's so hard to do. And I think Coach Welch and his staff have probably been preaching that all week. When you look at United Township, and it's not easy, they go on the road to a good Geneseo team. This becomes a pivotal game for them. Mitch, I'll start with you. Your thoughts on United Township and going on the road against a really good team.
I think I said this on our show. I think it's a must-win for both teams. I think it's a must-win for UT to stay in the conversation to potentially be the Western Big Six champion at the end of the year. I don't think they're going to be able to do it with 2 conference losses. With Geneseo, I think it's a must-win for them, looking at what they've got the rest of the way. They could be staring at a 4-4 record with going on the road to Quincy in week 9. So you certainly don't want that either. But UT's in a stretch now where they're coming off of this just call it a blowout loss to Sterling. Now you go on the road to Geneseo. Then you play Quincy, and then you get Moline 2 weeks later. So 3 of the next 4 weeks, they have Geneseo, Quincy, and Moline. This is going to be a pivotal stretch for the Panthers. And that's why I think they have to win tonight.
Yeah, you look at that schedule, and I think they get Moline at home and they get Quincy both at home. You looked at the schedule to start the season, and they had Sterling at home, and that one got away. Greg, it's not the blowout and the loss that's tough. It's the way it happened, obviously, being up 21-3 and then getting outscored 46-7 the rest of the way. Mentally, that's the biggest thing in this, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think so. And I think when you look around and, you see this kind of like gut punch loss, right? And maybe it's better that it happens in week 4 and you can learn from it and you can see that any night, any team can get you, right? And I know coaches, say that every preseason, every practice, like they're always harping on it, but it's high school kids. And I think sometimes the messages get forgotten and you get lost in the middle of a game and a game kind of snowballs out of control. And I think that's what happened in that game. It got ugly, but I think sometimes the ball isn't going your way and things aren't, you're losing momentum and the game gets away from you real quick. It's better to learn from that gut punch now than down the road in week 9, or if you're in the playoffs and then there is no coming back from it, right? So I think for this team, this United Township team, they've dealt with adversity, right? They were close a lot of games last year and fell short. And it seems like they've kind of overcome that, and they've been in some games. Well, now you have a little adversity. You've handled it before. Jump back in there and get ready to go against a really good Geneseo program. And I'm excited for this game because I think it's pretty evenly matched. I think it's a lot of talent down the field, and I'm really interested to watch it.
And you look at it too, guys. You got to give some credit to Sterling. Yeah, I mean, you got to give a lot of credit to Sterling. And that's the funny thing is, you looked at that game last week, and I know we talked like bigger favorites or whatever, but like it's Sterling. You know what I mean? Like it was the week before, it was like Moline and Sterling. Yeah, Moline was probably the favorite, but it's Sterling and it's John Schlemmer and it's the way they do things, and it's really well coached and young talent getting better. So hats off to Sterling for getting that victory. They now go home and get Galesburg. The big thing with that, both coming off victories, Galesburg beating Alleman last week, and it's one of those things where both are riding high. Let's make sure you not get too high. So an opportunity for Sterling they can quietly get to 2-1 in conference play. after that victory with UT and kind of do some good things there. I don't want to usually we talk about one or two games. We're almost getting to all of them, but I do want to talk about Rocky and Alleman because they won the games at UT, which takes me back to my days because Augie's not available. So it used to be back in my day, we went to Rocky first. And then if Rocky had a home game, we went to Moline second. And if they both had a home game, we go to UT. Well, that's where Alleman's at. They're at United Township playing Rock Island. And man, it's you look at Alleman, they haven't won a Western Big Six game since 2020. Now, obviously, they didn't play in 2 years. A little bit of a stockpile stat because they weren't playing for 2 years, but they didn't win the 2 years before that. And I've had a lot of people ask me this week, a ton, can Alleman win this game? I guess I'll throw it to you guys. Greg, we'll start with you. Can Alleman win a Western Big Six game against a Rock Island team that's 0-4 in the season and struggling right now?
I mean, I think so. When you look at kind of the talent that they've shown on the field, and the Galesburg game seemed to get away from them, right? They competed for a half and it got away from them. But I think that in the same way we talked about momentum kind of steamrolling once in a while, if you can get some early momentum in this game against a Rock Island team that's down, and I think that again, it's like, it's if you have a couple things happen to you early and that confidence builds, your kids feel really good about themselves, and Rock Island is struggling, they don't think they can find a way to do it. Yeah, I think there's a way that win can come for all of them for sure. It's going to be, the battle against numbers and the depth, right? I'm guessing Rocky has more guys ready to go and stay fresh on the field. That's in the game they're going to battle, Alleman's going to battle in every Western Big Six game. But I think in this one, you got to like your chances against a team in Rock Island that's been struggling. Yeah.
Yeah, you look at it, and against Dwight, Alleman played well for the first half. I think tied it in the third quarter, and then it went south quickly. And same thing last week. Galesburg, they battled for a half, and then Galesburg, I think, scored 4 straight one-play drives or something crazy like that. So, and you mentioned it's not just depth, it's also size. Alleman's small up front and those kind of things. So, but yeah, it's an interesting situation. Excuse me. And you mentioned it, Greg. Like, I'm not ever going to say a team quits or gets down or anything like that, but if you're a team that's been struggling and you fall behind early, I think the beginning of this game is super important for both teams. I think it's important for Rock Island to go out there and finally not playing a really good opponent. When you look at it, I mean, they've played Canelan and Dunlap and Quincy and Geneseo. I mean, it's been no joke for them. It's been tough. So if they see some confidence and some positive things happening early, I think they can get rolling. Opposite for Alleman, if they can do the same thing, I think they can get rolling as well. Greg and Mitch from View from the West joining me right now and Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. We're 15 minutes in and we haven't talked about Newman and Rockridge or Monmouth, Roseville, and Princeton. Shame on me. That's on me. So let's get to that because it's a huge week in the track. And Mitch, I'll start with you because Newman and Rockridge, I asked Ty Taylor, I guess I'll ask you. I asked Ty if you had the night off and could go one of these games, which one would you go to? I'll ask you. If we got you the View from the West private jet that Greg just finally purchased this week, and we flew you into the Quad Cities and you could parachute in, I'm making this fun, you could parachute into one of these games, which one would you choose?
I'd go to Newman Rockridge. A top 5 matchup, how you look at it, between two classes. I do believe that this game will determine who wins the Rock. It's been 2 consecutive years of really competitive, hard-hitting football between these two teams. So, yeah, this is the marquee matchup, I think, between the two. On our regular show on Tuesday, I had mentioned it. I think this game has the potential to be a much more, drawn out, hard hitting game. Whereas I think in the Monmouth Roseville Princeton game, there's maybe some more opportunity that one of the offenses can explode and expose the other's defense. I don't think that's the case in this game because you have a Newman defense that has been so good under Coach LeMay and has kind of been, as Ty said on your show, kind of been Rockridge's kryptonite. Yeah. They have really shut down this powerful Rockridge offense over the last couple of years. And so that's what I'll be looking for tonight is if Colin Schweigen and Thomas Howards and the Steels can finally get over that hump that has been this Newman defense. But conversely, Rockridge's defense is really good too. So how does Evan Bushman attack this defense? How do they balance that pass and rushing attack with Matthew Blackard? So this game, I think, has all the storylines. I think this will be a really low-scoring game, and this would be the one I would go to.
Can I get a pick? And then we'll go to Greg.
So my picks with WRMJ are out right now, and I picked Newman. I'm going to upset my Rockridge fans. I have been so impressed with Newman defensively, and you can't overlook history. You can't overlook what they've been able to do against Schweigen. So won't surprise me one bit if Rockridge comes out and wins and has figured this out, but I did pick Newman in this game.
Greg, I want to throw it to you because it's been the kryptonite and we did a show during the summer. We talked about rivalries in the area, and it was weird because this one's not a long running rivalry, but it was sixth. I should probably keep this list somewhere, but it was sixth or something like that. It's become a really good rivalry. I think we had it ahead of Rockridge Orion and stuff like that because of the magnitude of the games they played. Your thoughts on this game at Rockridge between two of the best teams in the entire state?
I want you to ask me if I had a choice, which game would I go to?
Yeah,
because I am going to Rockridge or Newman Rockridge.
That's awesome.
Now I will give a caveat. Part of it is it's a little closer to my house, so no offense to the drive to Princeton, I love it. But if I want to get back for the Instant Reacts podcast, it's easier to get to Rockridge and get back. But
absolutely,
I'm really excited for this game. Interesting, Mitch is taking his Newman pick here. I went counter. I went Rockridge in this game. And I went back and forth, and obviously you debated it because these two teams are really good, really evenly matched. What I looked at was who has the best player on the field. And I think Cullen Schweigen is going to be the best player on the field. And so, yes, as a sophomore and as a freshman, Newman was able to do some things defensively to disrupt him. I think now's the time. I think this is the Rockridge team that is, playing very good football offensively, led by Schweigen, led by the, Steele brothers, which we mentioned, and some other pieces around them. So that's where I went because I think that it's going to be one or two big plays that make the difference, and then there's going to be a lot of really good defense in between. So I'm excited for it. So the highlights will be on our show tomorrow night on the Instant React podcast. So
I love it, and the fact
tonight on the Instant React podcast.
Let's be honest, I didn't just come down the road from Rockridge, although it's close and I can drive fast, but I don't have that much time. But when this segment gets over, I'm gonna be live back at Rockridge again. So I'm gonna pick the Rockridge.
Yes,
I'm not an idiot. Like Glenn Cook's been on the show, and I don't want him I don't want to be punched by Glenn Cook. So I'll go Rockridge.
Yeah. You let them know then. They're all big fans of Greg Armstrong.
Yeah, they'll have the shirts that say I'm a Greg guy tonight.
Yeah,
It'll
they're
be
Greg
great.
guys for sure.
I really want those shirts to happen next year. Like it's a simple I'm a Mitch guy, I'm a Greg guy with the logo. Yeah. It's perfect. I will be at the Orion Riverdale game tonight. I'm going to call that game for MC22. Excited about it. Just a contrast in styles between Orion looking to bounce back after a loss last week. They spread it all about. Kale Filler's really good. Orion Voorhees is setting records every week. So I'm excited to see those guys. And I think Riverdale's really, really good. So it's homecoming. Guy Derrick's just sent me pictures of fireworks tonight at the baseball or at this football field for homecoming. So that was impressive. So I'm excited about that game coming up tonight. Check it out live on MC22. Other games in that conference: Erie Prophetstown's at Mercer County, Mendota and Sherrard, and Hall at Kewanee. And hats off to Sherrard last week. I thought they did a great job with everything going on, going to Hall and almost beating Hall and getting a road victory at Hall. See if they can get one done tonight against Mendota. Elsewhere in this great state of Illinois, this western side of the state of Illinois, I guess I'll start with Mitch. What other game pops out to you, LLC and UIC, Big Northern, wherever you want to go with it?
Are we just going to skip over the Monmouth Russell Princeton game here, Dazzo?
Oh my
Is that
gosh.
what we do on this show?
That's why I'm a Mitch guy. That's right there. Let's
Unbelievable.
I could edit, but let's not edit. That's no fun. Let's get to that game.
You need to be held accountable for this.
No, yeah, you're right. Okay, so Princeton. Finally, a game in Princeton too. Like finally, they go to Princeton. Jeremy Adolphson's had like the HSA on the phone or something like that the last years. Your thoughts on the game, and obviously one of the biggest games of the night as well that I completely forgot to even bring up.
Yeah, well, I think just like the Newman Rockridge game, I think this game will determine who eventually wins the Mississippi. And we talked about on our show that these are two teams that are coming into this game from two wildly different directions. You look at Princeton being 2-2, and you look at who they lost to. They lost to Newman and they lost to Rockridge. They get a week off for a forfeit win against Sherrard, and then they just dismantle Kewanee last week. So, and Monmouth Roseville, conversely, 4-0, has looked incredibly good in those 4 games, haven't faced the toughest of opponents. So I think Princeton has the resume coming into this game, and they're coming off of a big win. If you're going to ask me for my pick, this is the one that I tossed and turned about. I gave the edge to Coach Jeremy Adolphson in this game. I do think that they are so good and they're so disciplined on offense. They hit you hard on defense. They're going to be able to match Princeton punch for punch. And I think we've seen other teams do that to Princeton, and Princeton hasn't won those games. So I did pick Monmouth Roseville to win this game, and if that happens, I do believe that they'll win the Mississippi.
Greg, I know you hate Jeremy Adolphson, so I don't know if you picked Monmouth Roseville or not.
Confirmed.
But
yeah,
I mean, it's obvious. But go ahead. Your thoughts on the game and who wins this thing?
Now, I mean, I already told you guys back in week 1, I wasn't going to make the mistake of picking against Monmouth Roseville again. I already screwed up and made the mistake once. So, no, I'm taking Monmouth Roseville. And the reason being is I just, to Mitch's point, like, Princeton's been battle tested, but I just really like the way that Monmouth Roseville is playing football right now. And they're physical, up at the line. They're physical up front. They're big. They're strong. I think that's what generates a lot of their, offense. A lot of their power comes up front. And what I really love, it should be a great football game. And I'm not dismissing Princeton. I think they're a very talented team, and it's going to come down to the wire. And I think it's going to be a really good football game. I really want to see the matchup between Nick Houston on Monmouth Roseville and Casey Etheridge on Princeton. We talked about it in our podcast. Those are just two really hard-nosed, tough football players that play both ways. They're going to be on both sides of the ball, and you feel like they're going to be doing, battle against each other individually all night amongst the team. It's going to be great. That's the matchup, the game within the game for me.
Well, you know what I'm going to do, because I like to keep things interesting? I'll go Princeton. And I believe that. I do this. If you flip the schedules and you gave Princeton Monmouth Roseville's schedule and you flipped it around, I mean, we'd probably be talking about how impressive Princeton's been and all those kind of things. You look at Princeton now and their 2 losses. I mean, Rockridge needed an amazing comeback to beat them. And then obviously Newman's Newman. It's on the road and Newman's really good. So I think it's going to be a great football game. I hope that we can, maybe we're on Instant React show tonight and Jeremy Adolphson hops on there and gives me hell. And that'd be great. But, Myrtle's Pies, I think it's Myrtle's Pies in Princeton is the best pies ever. So I'll just give a shout out to that, because I remember being there on a Saturday during playoffs and stopping and eating pie.
That sounds like what Mitch Stormer would say, not a sponsor, but could be. They could be.
Right?
I was thinking it in my head. It was already up there.
See, you guys are so cute. You complete each other's thoughts. I love it. It's just adorable.
Yeah.
All right. Elsewhere in the state of Illinois on the western side, Mitch, what stands out for me? Am I missing anything? We did talk about Moline Quincy, right? Am I making sure I'm not messing? LLC, Big Northern, and UIC. What pops out and stands out to you right now?
I think the game between I'll go to the NUIC. I think the game between Eastland Pearl City going to Dupec. Dupec's at the top of this conference right now. They're 4-0. They're this new look Riverman team who doesn't pass at all. When years past, that's really all that they've done. And they're just racking up 300, 400 yard rushing performances week after week. And so if they want to continue to be at the top of this conference and really assert themselves as is a really, really good 3A football team. These are the type of games that you have to win. EPC's coming off of a tough game last week, but they've proven with Draven Zier how good they can be. So there's your matchup of the week, Greg, is Draven Zier against Dermot Dolan, because that'll be two of the best running backs that we really cover on our show.
Absolutely. It's funny, Greg, because I talked to Jim Mattson on the show on Thursday, and I asked him, I said, hey, like, obviously Friday nights we're just getting done. We talked a lot of Illinois. And I said, Friday nights, how have they been? All that kind of stuff. He's like, we got some good teams down here. And he started, first team he mentions. What do you think the first team that Jim Mattson mentions on the show? First off, you should have been watching the show, so shame on you. You don't already know this. But what's the first, what do you think Jim Mattson's first team he talked about being impressive this year, a 4-0 team? Farmington, absolutely. And I said, Jim, I know Farmington now. Like, everything's in my viewing area. There's no such thing as viewing areas anymore. So, anyways, what stands out from you, LLC wise? You can take me anywhere you want to take me. What other game would you love to chat about and maybe even watch tonight?
Yeah, I think. Speaking of Farmington, they host Knoxville. A fun matchup there. Knoxville sitting at 3-1. Maybe not getting quite the fanfare that Farmington's getting because of Farmington kind of reloading and being 4-0 with some impressive victories. But a fun matchup there with Marty Turner, head coach at Knoxville, and Toby Vallis, the head coach at Farmington. Those two guys go way back to their days in Knoxville together, growing up even. So That's a fun matchup there with Knoxville going on the road to Farmington. I think the big matchup in the LLC large side things is next week with Farmington and Macomb. Those are two teams we thought would be at the top of the conference. Farmington's got to get the job done this week. Macomb's in a non-conference game. But, I think that's kind of the one I'm circling a week ahead. On the other side of the LLC, I'm looking at Rushville Industry. They are hosting Anawan Wethersfield. Anawan Wethersfield sitting at 4-0. Really good start, but not really like a strong resume right now at this point. Rushville Industry has one loss, that one loss coming to Macomb in a crossover matchup in week 1. And Rushville Industry and AW were two teams that we had pegged near the top of the conference that would be fighting for it. So here we go. We'll learn a little bit this week, and then Princeville still hanging out there as well, playing really good football. So those are kind of the three up top. And I can't forget Stark County, who's also 4-0. They play United tonight, so they should go to 4-0, and that's a team that really had a lot of question marks. They graduated a lot last year, considering a 1A school, bring in a lot of new names that are performing and playing really well for Coach Jade Nord. So there's kind of the capsule of the LLC there.
See, that's why week 5 is better than week 2. I mean, all of everything's saying, like, 5's better than 2. Mitch, what do you got?
Isn't it weird that when we are talking on the Instant Reacts tonight that we're going to be talking about teams that have qualified for the playoffs already? I mean, you said at the top of this conversation, like, it's kind of cliche that we talk about how the season's gone by, but we're literally talking about teams that are going to qualify for the playoffs tonight.
And the thing is, you get done on Friday night. I think it's just the time of year it is, because you get done on Friday night and you start trying to digest everything on Friday, and then you got other football during the weekend and all that kind of stuff. Next thing you know, it's like Monday, Tuesday, you're listening to the View from the West podcast and you're geared up, and it's crazy how fast it goes. And you guys think in sports, when you have high school and college and NFL, and you throw the Ryder Cup in this weekend, and then next week, Major League Baseball's postseason starts. So the postseason, Greg, is after the regular season. Like, teams that are really good, they play extra baseball. I know as a White Sox fan that gets confusing, but that's what happens. It's crazy.
Hey, do you remember what my goal was? My realistic goal was for the White Sox at the beginning of the season?
Was it 80 wins? It wasn't 80, was it?
Was it not to move to Nashville?
I said, well, yeah, that's the all-time. That's the big goal. I hate you guys, both of you.
Go on.
The goal was avoid 100 losses. They just went over 100 yesterday?
Hang the banner.
So it's no, what I'm saying is that's a 20 game improvement over last year?
Yep.
So I'm saying, like, we wanted realistic signs that things are getting better. That's one small sign that they're not getting worse,
I have a really bad analogy that I'll tell you after we get done recording this because it's inappropriate to stay here. But
I might hang up long before then. I don't like either one of you.
No,
guys.
I want to talk about the Instant Reacts podcast real fast because it is tonight. It's a bunch of fun. So I'm in at Port Byron, home of Brian Stocking. Maybe should I just
Port
go to
Bryan,
Stockpile's
everybody.
house? I should just go to Stock.
Yes,
maybe
you
I'll
should.
swing by the station and see if you'll let me in at the station. No, the too much noise. Probably too much noise there. But I'd love to. I was telling Mitch, maybe I come on live with the winning coach after the game.
I want to make it clear. This was my idea to do this, not yours. This was my idea.
It's true. It's a fantastic idea. You said, let's have Derek's on. I said, well, we don't know who's going to win. No, I'm just kidding. He didn't say that. But you know what I'm saying? So that's possible. So what other things do we have cooking and percolating? We can't predict the future on who wins and loses, but it should be another fun night once again.
We're hoping to, when you start looking across the landscape of everything we got, we're hoping to get a coach from the Western Big Six who ends up winning tonight. We're hoping to talk to somebody from the Three Rivers, maybe a couple coaches from the Three Rivers. Guy Derrick's not a bad one. Chip Filler, not a bad one if you're going to be there anyway. That's a good idea. Good idea, Mitch. Great idea.
He's a Mitch guy.
And then,
a Mitch guy.
reached out to a couple coaches in the Lincoln land as well. So, and the NUIC. So we're hoping to get coaches kind of from across the board, from every conference. So really excited.
Brian Stocking.
And Brian Stocking,
what else
he's got the
want?
email invite.
What more would you want? So it's the View from the West Instant Reacts podcast. Check it out on that YouTube channel. I say this all the time and throughout the week. If you're not following and subscribed to View from the West and you're watching this, shame on you. Get subscribed. Join us tonight. These Fridays are a blast for me. I got the show right now. Hopefully it's going well in Rockridge and the internet's being nice to me. I got MC22 tonight, your guys' show, go to Iowa City tomorrow. Man, it's fun time of year. It should be a blast. Check it out tonight. View from the West Instant Reacts podcast with Mitch and Greg, or Greg and Mitch, however you want to look at it. Gentlemen, enjoy your Friday night. I appreciate you both.
Sounds good.
All right. We will see you guys in just a little bit. We'll take a break. We'll be back right here on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo.
Hello, Dan Pearson here of FCA. Our team is thrilled to support Off the Air with our good friend Matt Randazzo. We share the view of the power of sport when it comes to relationships, including the influence of the coach. FCA believes the coach is the most influential person in America. Matt celebrates local coaches and athletes. His content is informational, insightful, and inspirational. Our Fellowship of Christian Athlete team loves partnering with Off the Air with Matt Randazzo while we engage, equip, and empower coaches and athletes in our 23 counties. FCA, the heart and soul in sports.
View from the West, the podcast covering Illinois high school football.
It's going to be a hard-hitting game. It's going to be great football.
Weekly analysis and reaction from around the western side of the state of Illinois. This is the game we had circled when the year started. Follow along on YouTube and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.
It's big-time football out there tonight, and I know we can play big-time football.
View from the West. We got you covered.
Are you looking for the Quad City's best chips and salsa? There's only one dude to turn to.
Right on.
Snoop. Hand-cut chips, fried fresh with that crunch you've come to love. And the most addicting salsa with delicious fresh ingredients each and every time. Pick up your chips and salsa, queso, enchiladas, and much more at the Stern Center in Rock Island. To place your order, simply call the man himself. It's Snoop at 309-314-8197 and find out for yourself what the rest of the Quad Cities already loves. Welcome back to Off the Air with Matt Randazzo here on a beautiful Friday in the Quad Cities. It's Friday. We're live at Rockridge High School. High school football week 5 is upon us. We've been hanging out with the Rockets, getting ready for Newman and Rockridge, one of the best games on the slate when it comes to high school football on the Illinois side of the river. We're going to talk Iowa side of the river here in just a little bit, but joined now by the athletic director out here, Brock Bainter. I'm going to have you be my guest picker when it comes to this kind of stuff. We're going to pick some college NFL games in a second, but I want to talk to you. How you've been running around? You're hanging banners over there, like you're like throwing internet cords out the window for me, so this thing gets working. What is a Friday night like for you? Or Friday during the day, I guess.
Friday during the day, it's chaotic because you got to take care of your normal day stuff, but then getting ready for a game, there's quite a few things down here that need set up, and I just try to do anything I can, but it's a really busy day for me. By the end of the day, I'm usually about 20,000 steps and usually pretty tired, but I love Friday night football, so it's all worth it.
I know you've been here for several years. I'm a Macomb guy coming up, and a great community down in Macomb, but coming up here to Rockridge, and you kind of knew of it and about it and all those kind of things. What drew you to Rockridge and this community? And I'm sure it's been everything you kind of expected when you came up from Macomb.
Absolutely. I mean, we were familiar with it from being in the old Olympic Conference. I mean, I was a Macomb grad, so this used to be an old rivalry, and always liked it up here. Really liked the Quad City area. That was a draw to it. And then just always heard great things about Rockridge and the types of facilities, education, all of it. Just you couldn't find anybody to say anything bad. So it drew me up here, and I've always kind of wanted to be an athletic director. I mean, to get paid to go to games and do sports, it was something that kind of always was in my passion and plans. And so here we are, and we're loving it so far.
I tell people all the time, like, you get to a point where you're not good enough playing sports, and that was quickly for me. But then you want to be involved in them, and how can you be involved in them? Luckily that I can talk about them and cover them and all that kind of things, and that's obviously being an athletic director, a perfect way to stay involved when it comes to sports. I don't know if you thought that the Macomb Rockridge rivalry would be as big when you come up here, but there's been some big games between the Bombers and the Rockets over the years.
Yeah, I didn't anticipate that. I wasn't really hoping it would happen.
So you're public enemy number one around here when Bombers do those kind of things.
A little bit, and I always get the question, so are you really rooting for us? And yes, of course I am, but I still have some orange and black in me too, and have a lot of good friends back there. My nieces and nephews are still there, and obviously being an alumni. So those were difficult games to do, but all I was hoping for was good games, and so far they've all been good games, and hopefully we'll come out on top the next time.
Absolutely. Well, let's pick some games. I'm going to start in college, and you're an Illini fan.
Absolutely, yes.
And last week, in the Illini season ticket holder.
I am.
So you're heading to Champaign tomorrow.
We are.
Okay. Yeah. Do you just, I guess before we pick that game, do you flush it, forget about it, move on? Like and I talked to Jim Madsen on the show yesterday, and he's like, Illini fans were trusting and starting to trust, and then that happened. As an Illini fan, are you still on board? Are you still bought in, or are you a little worried?
No, I think I'm still on board. I mean, I think the last 3 years have showing good progress, and they seem to be, the fans, they all seem to be bought in. The atmosphere there has definitely changed since we started getting season tickets a few years ago. So I mean, that's all exciting, and obviously you're always going to have your duds. Hopefully that was just a dud, and bad circumstances, and they'll come out this weekend a little bit different.
So a late night for you at Edgington, then you get up early and you head down there. It's an 11 a.m. kick against a very good USC team that's been playing really good football. It's weird to say that USC's been flying under the radar, but they kind of have been a little bit this year. Give me your thoughts. We'll pick them. It's Illinois and USC, big noon Saturday on Fox. Your thoughts on the Illini and the USC Trojans?
Well, I'm a little worried about our secondary. They're a little beat up, and I know that's kind of the strengths of USC's offense too. So that high-powered stuff worries me a little bit, but I'm hoping for a bounce back and the big crowd and the energy that they'll feed off of it. So I'm going to go with my heart here and say the Illini are going to bounce back here and win a close one.
I like it. I'm in the I think they're going to play a lot better. I think Brett Bielema was going to get them to bounce back, and if he learned one thing from Kirk Ferentz, it's how to bounce back. I think he's going to do a great job of it. I think it's going to be a great effort. I don't know if they got enough. You mentioned with the offensive line struggles and the secondary, although it does sound like the majority of those guys, and some local guys too, and Matthew Bailey and Mac Resetich and those kind of guys, I think they'll be back. I'm gonna pick, because I did an guess. I'm gonna pick USC, but I really do think Illinois is gonna play well. I will not be surprised if I see them win. Iowa hosts Indiana, and it's funny because Illinois fans don't like Iowa. And they don't like Indiana. And it's usually like in football, they don't like Iowa, or in anything they don't like Iowa, but they hate Indiana in basketball, but they really didn't, like in football, it wasn't that big. Now after last week, I think it feels like Indiana's public enemy number one, and then you have their coach Kirk Cinetti kind of talking about how he's way more concerned about Iowa than he ever was with Illinois. Kind of, that guy is out there. What he thinks is what he says. It's a homecoming game, maybe a letdown game for Indiana, but we watched how good they are. Your thoughts on homecoming at Kinnick Stadium 2:30 tomorrow?
Well, you always have to. Iowa's going to keep the game close. I mean, that's just Iowa football in a nutshell, and they always control the clock and the tempo. If they can do that, keep it low scoring, I think Iowa has a really good chance to win that game. But I do worry about Iowa's offense and just seeing how explosive Indiana is. It was hard to tell with Indiana's early schedule. Were they really that good offensively? But I think last week showed that they've got some guys that can play at another level. So although it may not be a popular pickup here, I'm probably going to go with Indiana just based off what I saw last week.
Hey, it's the head and heart thing, and I'm contractually obligated since I'm the pregame host for the Hawkeyes. I ain't going to pick against Iowa. No. So I do think it's a good spot for Iowa, and I've kind of talked about this last couple of weeks, where they're coming off that emotional win, and it's Iowa at home at Kinnick Stadium. They haven't played a ranked opponent at Kinnick Stadium in 3 years now. So I think it's a great spot. I just didn't want to see 63-10.
No.
I can't unsee that. So obviously Indiana's got everybody's attention. Not just in Iowa City, but the entire nation. Should be a good one. I'll pick the Hawks because, of course, I'm going to have to. Best game in the conference. Those are two really good games.
They are.
Best game in the conference is Oregon and Penn State, rematch of the Big Ten championship game last year. It's at Happy Valley. It's at night. Your thoughts on the Ducks versus the Nittany Lions?
Yeah, that's a tough one, and it's hard not to look at Penn State and the struggles they've had against top-ranked teams over the years. Although it is at Penn State. I'm going to lean towards Oregon here, and I don't know why. It's just a gut feeling that I do hope Penn State can eventually get over that hump, but I'm going to go with Oregon.
Coach Franklin's struggled in big games, and you're exactly right. I go back to just Happy Valley at night and the white and the craziness and all that kind of stuff. It's a great game. It's a coin toss. I'm going to go just to keep things balanced. Yeah. I'll go Nittany Lions in that one as well. It should be a good game there. In the SEC, and it's great because I'm a Big Ten guy. I think you're probably a Big Ten guy too. And usually Georgia and Alabama is what everybody's talking about. The best matchups in college football in the Big Ten. It's a really good matchup. Yep. It's Alabama at Georgia. Obviously Alabama struggled earlier in the season. They've kind of righted the ship. Your thoughts on the Tide and the Bulldogs?
Yeah, I like Georgia at home there. I don't know why I'm not quite sold on Alabama yet. I think obviously great program, great tradition, all those things, but Georgia at home to me is going to have a little bit of an upper edge.
Yeah, no, I kind of agree with you with that as well. Georgia's really good. Celia Palermo used to work with us at WQAD. She's a Bulldog, so for Celia, I'll pick the Bulldogs as well. NFL-wise, are you a Bears fan?
So I'm a Bears fan, yep.
We'll start with the Bears. Hey, no, and obviously the sky was falling after 2 weeks, and everybody was cranky already. I'm a Ben Johnson guy. I'm a Lions fan, so I'm a big Johnson guy, and I think he's going to do a really good job when it comes to that program or that organization. I hate to say it. It just takes patience. You saw what it'll look like, I think, if he does do well, because they're going for it on a fourth down and getting it. There's some trick plays here and there. It looked good last week. Can they repeat? Can they do that again this time on the road against the Raiders?
Yeah, I feel like, with Williams and what he's done recently, and the struggles early, but I mean, since I can't remember the dates, but he's been really, really good and up there with a lot of elite quarterbacks. So I like where they're at. I think the confidence is growing. I think him and Adunze have kind of made a connection that is really important for him. So I do like the direction the Bears are heading, and I would probably go with them this weekend just based off where coming off that win last week.
It's a big game because you look at that schedule, it's not easy, and this is one of those winnable games. They got one with the Saints coming up that's winnable. The Giants is winnable. You got to stack victories now because it gets really tough the second half of the year. I do picks for our next guest, and by the way, if you're not into next guests, you need to get into it ASAP. Make sure you're doing that as well. In next guest, I picked the Raiders. I was on Dave and Darren this morning. I picked the Raiders, and everyone's like, you just hate the Bears, and I don't like them, but I got to see it to believe it. And sometimes with the Bears, it's one step forward, 2 steps back. And I still think the injuries concern me. That secondary concerns me. I know Darnell Wright hasn't practiced this week. That concerns me a little bit. So I flipped a coin. I'll go with the Raiders in a home game. I think the biggest game that everybody's talking about is this Packers-Cowboys game. If it needed any more spice to it, the Packers did what they did last week and lost in Cleveland. Your thoughts on it, but man, I just feel like it's a buzzsaw that the Cowboys are going to be running into on Sunday night.
I agree with you, and I mean, my son is a huge Cowboys fan, so I had a great time watching that.
You got to raise him better than that.
I tried.
Brock.
Hey, I got him to be a Cardinal fan with me.
That's another problem. We'll talk about that in a second. No,
Yeah, I do feel like the Packers, whatever last week was, they'll bounce back from that. And Dallas has always had their ups and downs, so I would probably go with the Packers.
Yeah, and you look at the Packers too. They played so poorly last week. I think they bounced back in a big time way. And boy, I think the Micah Parsons thing is a thing, and they'll turn quickly. In Dallas, 1 or 2 sacks in. I have to throw them in because I'm a Lions fan. But the Browns did win last week. They beat the Packers, and everyone told me the Packers were the greatest team in the history of football.
What they were talking
so
about.
and that was surprising to me. But can the Browns do it again? And after week 1, everyone told me the Lions were done, and they've played really, really good the last 2 weeks. Your thoughts on the Browns and the Lions down at beautiful Ford Field?
Yeah, I really like the Lions. I don't know what last week was for the Browns, but I just don't think they can keep up offensively with what the Lions can do. So I would probably go with Detroit in that one.
Yeah, you know what my pick is, Lions all the way. We'll finish with high school football. I won't make you pick any games when it comes to high school. I don't even do that. I don't want to get myself in trouble. But when it comes to tonight and two great schools, great programs and what they do. And kind of just this is what high school football is all about, isn't it? When you have a venue like this and the way it's painted up and nice and two really good football teams here. And I know that this community is super excited.
Yeah, the community is super excited, and I think in general up in this area there's been a lot of buzz about this game. You don't get this lucky to have 2 teams that have played this well so far to play each other. And then you go back to the last 2 years, I think both games have come down to the final possession, and last year was overtime. I think the game before that, Newman scored with almost no time on the clock. So obviously that sets the whole tone. And then just, obviously if you go off rankings, you got 2 top-ranked teams in 1A and 2A. Both have had big wins this year and played well. So, this is what it's all about. And this isn't a make-or-break game, but it's a great game to show kind of some possible postseason runs that both these teams can make, and great experience for both, whether win or lose. I think it should be a great game.
I think that's the cool thing is there's conference implications, obviously, and we get that. But one's in 1A, one's in 2A right now, and I think these are 2 teams that we could be talking about when it comes to November and later in November about making nice postseason runs and doing some big things. So it should be a great game. You can check the game out here on WRMJ.com if you can't get out to the game. We'll talk all about it on the View from the West Instant Reaction podcast at 10:15. It should be a ton of fun. Greg's going to be out here with View from the West. He's got his camera and all that kind of stuff, so we'll have highlights and all those kind of things, and it should be a great game here in Rockridge. Brock, I appreciate you. I appreciate you letting me come out here and do this
problem.
kind of stuff.
We appreciate it. You're welcome anytime.
We got one more break to get to. When we get back, we're going to kind of talk a little bit about the Iowa side of the river, some big games on that side as well. So a little more to get to here on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. We're live at Rockridge on a Friday. This is the part where I got to bend down and you guys get to see my bald spot again, but we'll be right back after we pay a few bills. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Give me the keys. Learning to drive can be stressful for both the student and, yes, the parent as well. Relax. There's an easy way to avoid the stress. Skiles Driving School in East Moline has been helping new drivers hit the road with confidence for over 20 years. Whether you're a teen earning your first license or an adult looking for behind-the-wheel training, we've got you covered. Their certified instructors are patient, experienced, and use modern vehicles equipped for safety and comfort. From classroom instruction to real-world driving, we make learning safe, affordable, and even fun. Call 309-278-0098 or visit skylesdriving.com. Skiles Driving School. Get in, buckle up, drive your future forward.
Are you looking to take your next party, tailgate, or golf outing to the next level? You need Mobile Party Experience. MPX features 3 top-of-the-line party trailers equipped with all the amenities you need to party like a rock star. Smart TVs, Yeti coolers, JBL sound systems, grills, bathrooms, and much more. Mobile Party Experience is an experience like no other. Check out my-mpx.com or call 563-514-1470 and book your Mobile Party Experience today. Welcome back to Off the Air with Matt Randazzo here on a Friday in the Quad Cities. We are live out at Rockridge High School. As we've mentioned, a huge game between the Rockets and the Comets right here. A battle of unbeatens, battle of ranked teams in the state of Illinois. One of the big games on the Illinois side of the river. Also, we've talked about Princeton and Monmouth-Roseville. Huge night in the Western Big Six with Moline making the trip down to Quincy. You have Alleman and Rock Island going head-to-head. United Township takes the trip out to Geneseo. And, of course, Galesburg and Sterling. So some great matchups in the Western Big Six. Make sure you guys are checking out A View from the West. Go to their YouTube channel right now. Subscribe. 10:15 tonight, I'll join Greg and Mitch and several others, a lot of coaches as well, as we recap Week 5 of the high school football season on the Illinois side of the river. I'll be out in Port Byron tonight. I'll be on the call for the Orion and Riverdale game. You can see that live on MC22 as well. So a lot of great things to get to on the Illinois side of the river. And anytime we're here on, and it depends whichever side of the river we go to. Yes, last week we were at Assumption and it was Iowa heavy when it came to that show as well. So I kind of want to chat a little bit before we let you go about some great games over on the Iowa side of the river. And we're going to start with one of the most intriguing ones. We talked about it earlier this week. Assumption and Central DeWitt going head-to-head. We had Coach Waterbury on the show earlier this week, and they're 4-0 for the first time since 2008. Sabres playing really good football, and they've never beaten Assumption. Assumption comes in 2-2, but they've won their last 2 games. They have a lot of momentum. We were at Assumption last Friday as well, so I think one of the best games over there is Central DeWitt and Assumption. And can the Sabres, now that district plays begun, continue their winning ways, get to 5-0 in the season, and more importantly, get a district win and kind of continue their winning ways? Assumption 2-2, kind of finding their footing, and as we mentioned, with it being districts, the games mean a little bit more right now. So, and it really intrigued by that game as well. That's one of the big games over on the Iowa side of the river tonight. Also, really intrigued with Clinton at Burlington. Clinton 3-1 on the season. They open up district play with a trip to their former MAC rival when it comes to football. Obviously, things in districts now, but can the River Kings continue to have their success as well? That's a fun game down there. Also, Muscatine and Pleasant Valley PV back at home, looking to get back over 500 when they welcome Muscatine to town. Bettendorf will make the trip to Dubuque Senior. We'll see if Bettendorf can get back on track after they dropped a tough one at home last week. So as we mentioned, with districts starting, the games get bigger and bigger on the Iowa side of the river. Kind of the same thing on the Illinois side when it comes to conference play and how those games get more important as well. Good one locally, Wilton makes a trip to Minneapolis. 2 just really good programs. Obviously good teams this year, but 2 programs that we're used to here in our area as doing good things, making successful postseason runs. Obviously Wilton made it to the Dome last season. Minneapolis has been there. 2 really good coaches as well. Ryan Hetzler for Wilton, and then of course Coach Borson down at Minneapolis. So one of the intriguing games on that side of the river as well. So many good things to get to on the Iowa side of the river coming up as well. And as we mentioned, we'll talk more about that coming up on Monday. Our Mondays are so much fun because we usually have to digest Iowa and digest Illinois and what Iowa State does. And we're coming right off of a NFL football Sunday, so a lot of that. But one of the things I love about Mondays is that we can sit here and talk some high school football as well. So we'll kind of monitor things and have some coaches on Monday as well. Best of luck to all the teams out there. And of course, it is week 5. It's crazy to talk about, but we're well over halfway through the season after tonight. So this is a big week. The games get bigger and better. And we mentioned on the Illinois side, if you're a fan of high school football, check out View from the West Instant Reacts podcast. Really loving what we're doing with Greg and Mitch and those guys, and they've done a great job of establishing what they are in View from the West. But to be able to take it to a Friday night and kind of do that instant react stuff and talk to coaches and scores and some highlights as well. Greg will be out here at the big Rockridge Newman game as well. So make sure you're subscribed to View from the West podcast, their YouTube channel, and check us out tonight at 10:15. As I mentioned earlier in the show with those guys, it's a great weekend for me. I'm going to be here. Obviously, we're here right now at Rockridge. After this, I'm calling some MC22. It was a fun matchup between Riverdale and Orion, and two good coaches, 2 coaches I've known for a long time. So will be a lot of fun. I'm thankful that Johnny Marks lets me hang out with him tonight and do the call for them as well. And then up and early tomorrow and heading to Iowa City. Don't forget to check out the Hawkeye Tailgate Show on the Hawkeye Radio Network. A lot of fun things when it it comes to that show as well. Pat Anger, my good friend Pat, will always join us, do his Anger's analysis, kind of get us set for the Hawkeyes and the Hoosiers. We also go inside the huddle with Jackson Rexroth, of course, that linebacker with the big play last week against Rutgers as well. The honorary captain is Dan McCarney. He'll join us on stage at Krause Family Plaza live as well. Our press box perspective will have Tom Kakert and Rick Coleman, legendary sportscaster from the Cedar Rapids, Waterloo area. My good friend Rick Coleman will join us for a couple segments tomorrow as well. So we have a jam-packed show tomorrow to get to. So if you're up in Iowa City going to the game, find us at Krause Plaza, stop by, say hi, all of those fun things. We've had several people do that through the first couple of weeks as well. So do that. We'd love to see it. And then also, if you can't do that and you're not going to the Iowa game, check us out anywhere you listen. Of course, our friends from Central Iowa that are watching us this week and moving forward as well. If you're a Hawkeye fan, check us out anywhere on the Hawkeye Radio Network. Here in the Quad Cities, it is Vintage Radio 107.7 FM. WQUD, not to be confused with WQAD, but WQUD. Check us out tomorrow, 12:30 to 1:30, the Hawkeye Tailgate Show as well. And then also, one other note, coming up, we will have our off-the-air kind of post-show when it comes to college football. Obviously, a big focus tomorrow on Iowa and Indiana. Tom Kakert will join me from most likely the press box at Kinnick Stadium. I get done with the game, hustle home, get things set up in the studio, and then Tommy, when he gets done doing all his hard work, he joins me, and we'll talk about that game. But obviously, Illinois and USC will be in the books by then as well. So check that out tomorrow on our YouTube channel, on X as well. If you are watching us in Central Iowa, check us out on the YouTube channel tomorrow when it comes to Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. Make sure you subscribe to that as well, or follow us on X at Matt Randazzo. The show will be on those two platforms tomorrow, and the podcasting platform as well. Coming up next week, we'll have our post shows on the WHO app in Des Moines as well, coming up on Sundays. But not this week. We'll start that up next week as well. But it's been a fun week. To our viewers in Central Iowa that's been tuning in this week, thank you. We've enjoyed the feedback that you've given us. We like it. And welcome. And hopefully you're enjoying the show as we get rocking and rolling. Next week will be a busy week once again. And to our viewers here, obviously in the Quad Cities, thank you guys so much for watching us, supporting us, all of those kind of fun things. It should be a fun, fantastic weekend. Not just football, Ryder Cup as well. And believe it or not, Major League Baseball postseason starts next week as well. A fantastic time of the year. And last but not least, I do have to wish my oldest Charlie a happy 16th birthday tomorrow. He turns 16 tomorrow. So he's the dude that made me a dad. So happy birthday, Chuck. We'll have a fun day tomorrow and a great weekend. And hopefully his teams kind of come through for him as well. Hopefully we can get an Iowa victory. And of course we can get a Lions victory on Sunday as well. So thank you guys so much for watching. We appreciate it. And we'll see you guys back here next week on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo.